What ideas were so successfully promoted that people still believe in them? Even my mom, who moved to America in her teenage years, still forbids me from leaving the fan on at night because she's afraid for my life. There is a conspiracy theory that the South Korean government propagated this myth to avoid electricity overconsumption, although the exact origin is unknown. Surprisingly, many Koreans still believe in this myth, despite being one of the most technologically advanced countries in the world. I heard that some suicide cases were reported to the police as if people left their fans on for too long and died because of it. I don't know how true it is. Carrots improve vision. This myth was created during World War II to hide the invention of radar. When Allied pilots found German bombers during the Blitzkrieg, people were told that it was because the pilots eat a lot of carrots and have excellent vision. In fact, the British had one of the first radar stations that the Germans were not supposed to know about. See, they concealed the tech from Nazis and convinced kids to eat veggies. This is a triumph. And if you have a deficiency of vitamin A, then carrots can save you from blindness and prevent death as they contain beta-carotene. That 4 years in university is the only way to achieve success in life. Napoleon Bonaparte was short. He was 1 meter 70 centimeters tall. By today's standards, it's not much, but at that time it was average. The myth of his short stature arose as a result of a British propaganda campaign aimed at mocking Napoleon. Napoleon began as an artillery officer, and even at a high rank, he loved commanding cannons. That is, he engaged in the work of corporals. Thus, his troops lovingly called him Kapralchik, showing their attachment. The British reportedly learned of it and depicted him as small in stature. Ever seen how in toothpaste ads people squeeze out thick curved paste with swirls? So, to clean your teeth, it is enough to squeeze out a small pea. I always squeeze out a pea, but I never wondered why they use so much toothpaste in commercials, lol. Do you think they do it so that your pasta runs out faster and you have to go get a new one? That is why. The same goes for other goods. For instance, in the Alka-Seltzer commercial, an individual takes 2 tablets. Columbus was not the only person who believed that the earth is round. Literally everyone who could read knew that it was round. No one believed that Columbus could fall off the edge, but everyone thought that his team would die of hunger before they reached the East Indies. And so it would have happened. Columbus was lucky to stumble upon a new continent where Asia was supposed to be. New continent. I believe that real life requires an update with a new continent. The previous one was released such a long time ago. That fat is something unhealthy. I'm talking about nutrition, not obesity. Fat is an essential component of any diet. Avoiding fat in diet is harmful. As Paracelsus, Swiss physician in 1490s said, dose determines poison. In 90s, dose determines harm. People still believe dogs can't distinguish colors, though this is false. The truth is they see fewer colors than people. Successful propaganda started by cats to tarnish the reputation of their long-standing enemies. The 80th KFC in Japan had a Christmas advertisement, and the Japanese still eat KFC on Christmas. The myth is that if you ask a cop if he is a cop, he must answer yes by law. Of course, he doesn't have to do anything, otherwise the undercover work would make no sense. The undercover cop has a standard instruction to answer yes lol when asked if he is a cop. After that, he still needs to debonair. Recently watched a documentary about a former undercover cop from Great Britain. According to him, once he found himself in a car with a guy who pointed a gun at him. This person asked, "Are you a cop?" He said, "Yeah, sure, cop." They laughed. So he didn't reveal himself. Changed. Link for those who want to watch. Edward Bernays, the father of public relations, literally turned the word propaganda into advertising and public relations so that people wouldn't think it was something bad. He confessed in his book Propaganda, authored by himself. Propaganda is the media's attempt to persuade you of something. These attempts can be honest or not, but it is still propaganda. People who speak other languages are not surprised by this. In Portuguese, advertising is literally called propaganda, and there's no insidious subtext in this. When we see an ad for a children's toy, we call it toy propaganda. Changed. This is Brazilian Portuguese, not Portuguese. The elderly lady who sued McDonald's for spilling their coffee simply wanted to make money from the incident. To clarify, an elderly woman sat in the passenger seat of a car in the parking lot. She tried to add sugar and ended up spilling it on herself. The burns were very severe, so she went to McDonald's to have them pay for her medical expenses, because they sold her a too hot coffee. In response, McDonald's launched a large PR campaign in which they harshly slandered this poor girl and even bought spaces for articles in local newspapers to write about how stupid and money-hungry she is. Everyone laughed at her. Comedians, musicians, radio presenters. Everyone imagined her as a greedy woman, not a victim. Yes, she had a third-degree burn in the genital area. Initially, she asked to pay her 5-digit bills for medical services. She was ignored. Then she went to court, and the judge decided to make an exemplary case out of it, as it was proven that McDonald's intentionally sold almost boiling coffee so that people wouldn't ask for free refills. Although they were warned that it is harmful to health, and the cups are not designed for such hot liquids. I recommend everyone who continues to write their smart comments to look at a photo of her burned genitals. Cracking fingers causes arthritis. If true, I'd work like the old man in the commercial who can't lift the bottle. And I am just 31 years old. Is cracking your fingers harmful to your health? Studies suggest it can weaken your grip over time, but the decline is minimal and occurs after many years. The myth that Spartans threw sick children off a mountain was Athenian propaganda. Someone still thinks that the lie detector works. This is pseudoscience at best. People, there is a recording where the creator himself says it's bullshit. So maybe we should listen. I'm watching you, Florida. I know that you still use the results of the polygraph as evidence in court. This is complete crap. I lost my job in a government position because of a lie detector. Yes, I fucking was nervous about that test, but I never lied. Absinthe-induced hallucinations is Prabhupada, as it disrupted the wine industry. Prabhagabda, do you have a cold? You overdid it with absinthe, didn't you? Illegal to turn on car light on back seat. Laughed because mom used to say that to me. I get nervous every time I turn it on, even for a second. The idea that teeth should be perfectly white. Teeth should not be pure white. You need to consider teeth like skin. Teeth like skin have various shades. At least that's what the dentist told me when he checked my prostate. People need to remember that healthy teeth don't have to be white. Super white teeth. This is usually abnormal. As we age, the enamel on our teeth becomes more transparent and shows the yellow dentin underneath. As teeth age, they turn yellow, but this doesn't indicate they are unhealthy or dirty in any way. I see teeth whitening as an anti-aging tool. You won't get healthier from this, but you will definitely look younger. The myth that MSG will kill... You can't eat him and I have an allergy to glutamate. Oh, come on, he's very delicious. And your body produces it itself when it splits. Ordinary salt, some people may have problems with. Sodium, they should not consume it though. Micro. Percentage of people. Nah, glutamate in breast milk. Tomatoes, parmesan, etc. Natural. This is the part of numerous food items. Containing protein. What breakfast is the most important meal. Camels don't store water in their humps. Fat in humps, I have them too, little camels. I feel the same as well. Vaccines debunked. Causes autism, one person wrote. In a respected journal, an article discrediting a popular vaccine of that time, although in fact he just wanted to advertise his own. His alternative vaccine failed. Report disputed. Everything returned to its place. Yet so far, there are individuals intelligent enough to work at Google who choose not to vaccinate their kids. War on drugs. Prematurely, by prohibiting drugs that we had limited knowledge of and could not extensively study, such as marijuana and psychedelics, we generated a void of inaccurate information and public skepticism, and funding for drugs came to an end. It is positive that now, thanks to private funding, we are starting to recognize that they can have a beneficial influence on mental health problems. That a guy should spend 2 months' salary on an engagement ring for his future wife, and that it must definitely have a diamond. Why the hell is that? I spent $150 on my wife's ring. She's very happy. It's with a sapphire. Diamonds are not more valuable than other gemstones. Lab-made stones are easier to obtain. They're more perfect and cheaper, if it's, of course, ruby, sapphire, emerald, etc. Then these stones will be as good as those from the ground. You can give a fake if you're a teen or giving a gift to a girlfriend, but they're easily broken compared to a real gem.